Live from Pacific Coast Television Studios in Pacifica, California. Join us as we pay tribute to the community heroes that make the Coastside a beautiful place to live. This is PCT Honors 2022.
Wow. How about that? That was impressive. Turns out when you train interns, they actually kind of can do some wonderful things. Let's give it up for our interns and our staff there making that. I think that was Jordan that did that. He's not an intern, he's staff. But at one point, he was an intern. So, folks, my name is Marty Anaya, and this is PCT Honors 2022. And this is the opportunity for our organization, Pacific Coast TV, to really give back to the people who make our Coastside such a wonderful place to live. And for you folks at home that you maybe can't see all the people in the room, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be recognizing 11 people tonight, including, in addition to, a couple of our staff and some of the volunteers that our board who really do come together to bring this organization together. So I couldn't be more excited and thrilled to be doing this. Somebody said it takes a village, right? It takes a village to raise a child or whatever. And what we like to think of with community media is that it is, I guess you could say, kind of like electronic green space, like an electronic park. And like I was saying yesterday, I made a little video yesterday, one of my little Facebook road rants. And I said, the idea is just like with a park, you can bring the community together. The kids can get, have fun. You can have booze, information. People get to meet each other, right? You get bit by a dog. No, I'm kidding. You get the opportunity to really understand and kind of participate in the community. Well, think about it. With so many people that can't come to the park, that might be shut-ins, that might be, for whatever reason, unable to participate, this electronic green space is their opportunity to do that. And one of the ways that we like to acknowledge all the people that are working in the public, education, and government fields, right? Nonprofit organizations, educational organizations, and government. That's what we are here as a PEG station. One of the ways that we like to acknowledge all the folks that are working, not just here at PCT, but throughout the community in these spaces, the public, the education, and the government spaces, is through this awards ceremony, PCT Honors. So you all here tonight, we have an intimate crowd tonight, but it's really you, the honorees tonight, that are the folks that we have to thank, because it's your hard work, doing what you do every day, not just in your workaday job, but also in your philanthropic activities, that make our Coastside such a wonderful place to live and work. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to actually show you some video of one or two of the honorees that couldn't be here tonight, but I'm actually going to let you see who these people are so you can get a flavor of what I'm talking about. So why don't we go ahead and roll that now.
Chris Porter is a third-generation San Franciscan who has lived in the Bay Area her whole life. She attended St. Elizabeth's Grammar School and went on to graduate from the University of San Francisco. She started her career working for the I. Magnin department store as a stock clerk. In 1985, Chris left I. Magnin and began her second career in waste management at Recology of the Coast in Pacifica. This job allowed her to use her skills from I. Magnin through the interactions between the company and the cities of Pacifica, Montera, Moss Beach, El Granada, Princeton by the Sea, and Miramar. All personnel and day-to-day budget activity are directed by Ms. Porter. Chris's leadership guided Recology of the Coast through the COVID-19 pandemic and helped give our community a sense of normalcy by continuing to manage waste during the stay-at-home order. PCT is proud to honor Chris Porter.
Alyssa Jenkins serves as the English Department Chair at Terra Nova High School. While there, she's a full-time English teacher and advisor for Mock Trial, Students in Action, and the Class of 2020. Mrs. Jenkins is heavily involved in Pacifica's education. Since her move to Pacifica, Alyssa has made it her mission to improve the quality of education, student well-being, and student advancement. Alyssa has joined a multitude of organizations that are dedicated to Pacifica's schools, student knowledge, and community health. In 2011, she joined a committee for JUHSD's partial tax measure, Measure C. She has also helped a multitude of people schedule their COVID vaccines. Alyssa enjoys traveling. She has taken students to different countries in Europe during her time at Terra Nova High School. Alyssa sees her job as a teacher not as a duty, but as an opportunity to improve and interact with her community. PCT is proud to honor Alyssa Jenkins and all of her accomplishments.
So first of all, I'd like to say thank you so much to Mike O'Neill for nominating me for this honor and to the PCT board for conferring it upon me. I have been teaching in Jefferson Union High School District. This is my 31st year. And in fact, I was hired walking down the steps of Terra Nova High School after my interview. I lived 0.3 of a mile down the street in the townhomes, and I had all but given up hope of getting a job because it was a year that they had plenty of teachers. But when I called to check upon the status of my application, it turns out that they had misfiled me under just English instead of English and science. So I was hired walking down the steps 3 days before school started, mostly out of desperation, but it's worked out for everybody, I'd like to think. So I have stayed put, and this is my second home, where I spend a lot of hours of my day really trying to inspire kids to think critically, think deeply, read widely, and write competently and coherently. Outside of school, because they do release me from bondage and let me roam free in the world, I've taken the view of service that my family really impressed upon me and used it to do things like I've been fostering kittens for the SPCA for over 10 years. There are 2 delightful kittens in my bathroom at home right now. I also have been involved in Music Matters in Pacifica, which eventually morphed into PAF and joined that, trying to keep band alive in the elementary schools, as well as when the pandemic really hit and I was stuck in my living room teaching black square boxes on Zoom and bemoaning at what my life had become, I found out that I'm really, really good at booking appointments for people. So hidden talent, and I wound up booking over 430 COVID vaccine appointments, vaccination appointments, February, March, April in 2021, with help from my son, who got tired of watching me hit refresh and actually wrote an app to help me find appointments for people. So, you know, I was raised with the idea that it's not just your existence on the planet, but it's what you add to the lives of other people. And I've tried to make sure that I do the best I can for the most I can. And I will keep doing that until I can't anymore. And at that time, you know, I just hope that the 1,000+ kids, actually more like about 5,000 kids that I've already interacted with, will carry on that legacy. So thank you.
Wow, that's something special. And, you know, if folks at home, if you're just joining us, you're watching PCT Honors. And this is our opportunity, Pacific Coast Television's opportunity, to really thank the people who have been so instrumental in making our Coastside such a wonderful place to live. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce you via video to the next honoree right now. Check this out.
Rosie Tejada is the president of the Jefferson Union High School Board of Trustees. Growing up on the Coastside and a student of Jefferson School District herself, Ms. Tejada saw the lack of support her teachers so desperately needed. Her time serving on the Board of Trustees is spent securing funds and supplies for our hardworking educators. Her work in public service and education is crucial to the youth and parents of our Coastside. For all this and more, it is our privilege to honor Rosie Tejada.
Friends, it is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome Rosie Tejada. Give it up for her, please. Hi, Rosie. I'll hang on to it. Okay. Say a few words for us.
All right. Boy, I am truly humbled to receive this honor, to be included among so many distinguished honorees. And as a Pacifican, it really, to receive a PCT honor means a lot to me. It's extra special. I've been on the board for 8 years now and 2 years as president, and I'll tell you, it has been the most challenging time on the board for me. Navigating the pandemic, our district is so amazing that we pulled it all together as a family. And we even managed to continue building our workforce housing. And I want to take this time to thank the community for passing the bond that made that possible. Can I get a clap? Because we're always so grateful to our community for supporting education in our district. So during this time, I also was taking care of my 98-year-old father, who passed away during the pandemic in March of 2021. I was so heartbroken, I still am. But after soul searching, I realized that I needed to continue my work on the board because as a board member, you are responsible for lives. You are responsible for lives. And I think that was the best way to honor my father, was to continue my work. I want to thank my family for all their support, and my Auntie Kath for being here with me, and for PCT for doing all your great work in the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you so much. All right, so, and Rosie, I just want to tell you too, this is a certificate, but you're also going to receive a plaque, and Senator Josh Becker is going to have something special for every single one of our honorees later on too. So that'll be coming, I think, in the mail, but we'll make sure you get it.
Okay.
Yay! All right, and that goes for all the rest of you as well too. That's not just you, Rosie. Again, you can kind of see what we're talking about right here, and how important what each one of these folks do. And again, as the Community Media Center, our job and our hope is to try to kind of weave a thread that creates a tapestry that shows off all the different colors, all the bright, beautiful colors, and all their multiplicity of characteristics. So to kind of give you a little flavor for what we've been doing for the past 45 years, check this out. We'll be right back.
It may be hard to believe, but Pacific Coast Television has been serving the Coastside since 1968.
In Pacifica, it turned out, there was in fact a TV class at Oceana High School. And what wound up happening from there was this gal that was working with them said, hey, let's get our own little studio here in Pacifica. Studio 70 then became really the first local cable station here in town, becoming one of the first, if not the first, cable station in the country.
So Rick Miller is going to get a chance to kick Terra into a good shot here. Now if he gets a good punt off, he can give the pressure on Oceana.
Broadcasting with heavy, old black and white cameras, PCT covered the Pacifica oil spill and won an Emmy in 1972. Amazingly, the oldest person on the crew was only 15.
There was a giddy freedom about the place. So anything that we thought was interesting and fun and colorful or new, we just covered it.
By the 1990s, PCT had become a destination site for interns and broadcast students from across the Bay Area, and saw its schedule filled with imaginative, award-winning shows and local government coverage.
Very proud of our Channel 26.
People at Channel 26 invited me down to work on the auction, and I had a blast, and hopefully we raised a little bit of money for Channel 26.
PCT is a team effort, working with the cameras and working with the equipment. Every time I come, I never know what I'm going to work on, but I always enjoy myself.
This is a lot of fun. It's a learning environment. It's a laboratory where you get to test new ideas.
see what works and see what doesn't work. And when you work on other people's productions, you get an idea of what will work on your production.
In 2011, PCT expanded its reach down the coastside to bring programming to Half Moon Bay, Moss Beach, and a dozen other cities as far south as Pescadero. PCT provides coverage of the coastside's many political meetings and major events, such as the Pumpkin Festival, and programs 2 cable channels, one on either side of Devil's Slide. PCT recently completed an expansion program into HD streaming online, and it has built a vast archive of on-demand programming, available on any screen, on any device, at any time. Pacific Coast Television is the gold standard in community media programming.
All right, how about that? Can we give it up for PCT? So, we're custodians, right? Jim Henderson and I were talking, and, he was talking about just, the years and the time and the effort that it takes. But again, it's a team effort. And what we're talking about is that for over 45 years, multiple Emmys, multiple acknowledgments, including twice voted Community Media Center of the Year. This is where community media actually started, was right here at this television station. This was the very first community media center in the nation. Okay? So, and I'm not tooting my own horn, and I'm not tooting really the horn of anybody in the studio today, but what I want you to know is that's a legacy that continues, and a lot of people have come before and have passed that baton, passed that torch to the folks that are currently custodians of that. So we take it as an honor and a privilege. And speaking of which, we want to honor a lady right now that I'm very, very pleased to say has been doing a lot for our coastside for a long time. So go ahead and roll it, and we'll be right back.
Mary Dougherty belongs to St. Andrew Presbyterian Church in Pacifica as a deacon. Mary has been involved with PCT answering calls for their live auctions. She is a member of the Pacifica Historical Society, where she assisted with many fundraisers and the renovation of both the Little Church and the train car 1409. She is a Moose member and part of Seniors in Action. She is also a member of the Pacifica Lyons Club, where she assisted in fundraising and many more projects. Mary has also contributed many ideas and ways to assist PCT with our donations and has given us much valuable input. PCT is grateful to be honoring Mary Dougherty and all that she's done.
Hey, Mary, hi. Well, I have a person that I want to make sure we get on camera here. You want to say a couple words? This is our board member, Jolynn Ruedas. Give her, please, a big round of applause, if you would.
Thank you.
Right here. That's called a microphone.
I know. I don't have my headset on. It is my honor and privilege to introduce Mary Dougherty. She has done a lot of things for many of us, and she doesn't think she has, but she has, She comes up with these good things for people to do, for entities to do, and a lot of people don't take what she recommends, but PCT has. We've taken a few of her ideas and we ran with it. Anyhow, she's an awesome lady. I've known her for many years. She was my mother's best friend, so you might say she's like my aunt. Mm-hmm. So at this time, Mary, we
what?
Come on, Marty, help.
Oh, I thought, we rehearsed this. Mary, would you please come and accept this honor? Come here, come right here, Mary. Give it up for her, please.
Just say hi.
Well, I just want to say hi, and that I've enjoyed PCT for many years, watching it, especially now that I don't get out of the house that much. And one of the things I was glad to see recently that they've started doing Footprints of Pacifica again, which was a very good program. If you haven't seen it, you'll have to look for it. But anyway, I hope that they're able to pay for this building. And we may,
you and me both.
And we may have to be asked to donate something to it. They'll probably have some fundraisers, right?
Well, I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I appreciate this honor, and it's really my privilege, and I appreciate it so much.
Mary, there's one thing I'd like for you to do.
Yes.
Say hello to your family. They're all watching.
Oh, yes, my family, who are mainly in Ohio, or over on the East Coast, someplace, Oklahoma, and around there. Some in Washington, just all over the place. But anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah, give it up for everybody, please.
Well, good luck.
Oh, thank you. We're gonna need it. I'm reminded that, again, if you saw that video there, PCT, it serves the entire San Mateo Coastside now, right? It's not just Pacifica anymore. At one time, it was Pacifica Community TV, but now it's Pacific Coast, because as the video explained, all the way down to Pescadero, and trying to really integrate communities. Let's face it, that just for the reasons of topography and just, how people are up in the nooks and crannies there, it's difficult, right? It's difficult. Jim, I'm sure of KHMB, Half Moon Bay Radio, can attest to that. But it's really the power of all of us working together that makes that happen. So again, just be aware that we are Pacific Coast TV, not just Pacifica. So if you're watching me in Half Moon Bay, if you're watching me in Pescadero, be aware that this is your TV station too. And if you don't feel that right now, give us a call. It's 650-355-8000. All right, right now what we're going to do is we're going to throw it out to one of our other wonderful honorees this evening. Check this out.
Michael Perez is the director of Pacifica's Parks, Beaches, and Recreation Department. Mr. Perez has been serving the Pacifica community for almost 35 years. Over the years, he has created and implemented strategies that have helped increase productivity and created new opportunities for the department's growth. Mr. Perez is a 12-year member of the Pacifica School Volunteers Board of Directors, served on the Pacifica Prevention Partnership Steering Committee for over 8 years, is a member of the Pacifica Collaborative, and has served as the president of the Parks and Recreation Administrators of San Mateo County for the past 5 years. For Michael Perez's loved ones, it's apparent that his job isn't just being director, but being dedicated to and caring for Pacifica. Because of his work and commitment to his community, PCT is elated to honor Michael Perez.
Hi, I wanted to thank the Pacifica Community Television Board and all those responsible for nominating me for this honor. I'm truly humbled by it. I am very much in love with this community. I have enjoyed a very long career serving everyone here. Many of my greatest experiences in over 3 decades as a Parks and Recreation professional have come as a result of building relationships. In the process of working with diverse groups of people, community members, co-workers, and volunteers to address a challenge, solve a problem, or create an opportunity has been some of the most rewarding work of my career. My days are filled with meaningful interactions, both with people I've met for the first time and those that I've carefully cultivated relationships over the years. And either way, every interaction is important and it leads to connections. And those are the building blocks of our work, of our organization, of my career, and of my community. The Parks and Recreation changes people's lives for the better by offering an access to a wide range of programs, services, opportunities, and places and spaces. And it's certainly changed my life, and it's allowed me the privilege of serving my community. And the relationships built as part of this process have enabled me to provide positive social and recreation experiences while making connections and creating community. I have been very fortunate to work with many parks, beaches, and recreation staff and volunteers who have continued to display their dedication to our programs and compassion to our participants, in particular during the last several years under very challenging conditions. It makes me so proud, and it warms my heart to be part of this tremendous group of people that really care about our community and care to serve the people in our community. And with that, I thank you again for this honor. I'm so very humbled, and I appreciate it.
Now, some of you who are really sharp may have noticed that Mike Perez kind of looked a little familiar, and not because you've seen him at the Parks and Rec, but because we've actually honored him before. And there's a reason why we did it again, and that's because he is actually retiring this year after all those many years of services. There's going to be one other one that we're going to do that with this evening. But again, yes, he was a previous PCT honoree, but folks, I got to tell you, with that level and that tenure of service to the community, we just had to acknowledge him one more time. Can we give it up for him just one more time, please? All right, and while you got that applause going, I'd mentioned previously about my good buddy Jim Henderson over at Half Moon Bay Radio, KHMB, and talk about stewardship of a resource on the coastside that is reaching into the homes, right? Think about it. Again, like I said, so many people, they may be shut-ins. They need a lifeline. And some people don't get cable. We're on cable, and some people don't get the internet, but they might be able to tune in on their radio. Why don't you do me a favor and take a look at this video right here that explains a little bit more about this gentleman.
Jim Henderson is the manager of KHMB radio station. Mr. Henderson's voice has graced the coastside for decades. His featured stories of the week have captivated our community and captured our hearts. The stories bring a voice to individuals making a difference in our coastside. Mr. Henderson is also dedicated to inspiring a new generation of radio and has worked with many youth educational programs. That is why tonight we are proud to honor Jim Henderson.
Well, it is my honor to welcome my buddy. Can you help me give it up for Mr. Jim Henderson, please? Yes. Hello, sir. It's all yours.
Now, you never want to say to somebody in media, give us a few words. There is no such thing, as you know, my friend, as you know. First of all, I just want to say on behalf of my peers and colleagues here, I'm sure I speak for you when I say that we sincerely appreciate what you guys are doing tonight. You know, we are very, very fortunate in the San Mateo County coastside area because we have communities that, unlike metro and urban areas, they don't have a sense of community like we have here. And this is certainly being shown forth tonight in what we're doing. So again, thank you for all that you do, even though I know this sounds like we're part of the Admiration Society, the Mutual Admiration Society, but we are. In one sense, we are. We certainly are. But I do want to take just a moment. He smiles when I say that, of course, right? You know, he goes, oh, man. To give you just a little brief history of the radio station. My wife and I were married in 18. It only seems like that, honey. In 1981. And one of the first things I ever said to her when we moved to Half Moon Bay is I said, this would be the perfect spot for a community radio station. And 28 years later, we were able to experiment with low power AM. And I got to tell you, and I'm sure that Pastor Nibbe would concur with me, there is power in prayer. And it was always my prayer that we would have a radio station. So we went on the air, very low power AM. 6 years later, we got the FM channel, so now you can listen to us at 100.9 FM or AM 1710, or you can listen anywhere around the world as we stream live at KHMBradio.com. How's that for a paid political announcement?
I love it.
Okay. Anyway, thank you, my friend.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you, sir. Give me that hand right there. All right. We're out of COVID. We can shake hands again. No, wait, can we? Was that a voice for radio right there? Did you hear the radio announcer? I mean, we have to do at some point. I think what we need to do is we need to do a fuller profile on you, Jim, because I think we're all going to learn something here. We're not really doing it justice in the depth and breadth of it, but I think at some point, would you guys like to see that? Would you like to see that? Okay, all right. So right now, guess what it's time to do? Have a little bit of fun. Well, have we been having fun? Have you been having fun? All right. Well, we're going to have more fun, and why don't you take a break, and about the next 5 minutes, we're going to actually have a little entertainment segment. Now, as I've said, PCT plays host to many folks at home, many wonderful programs. One such program is the Kathy Holly Show, and what she does is she brings entertainers from all over the place, mostly the kind of like Broadway type show entertainers, that kind of thing, but it's all kinds. It's a potpourri, and if you tune in the channel on any given day, not just Kathy Holly's show, but a lot of shows, you're going to see what I'm talking about. So right now, take a moment, kick back, maybe go to the fridge or go over here and grab another something to drink, and check this out. We'll be right back. Hang out.
Pacific Coast Television provides a platform for community members to put their shows on TV. Let's take a look at some of the shows produced and aired on PCT throughout the years.
Welcome to the only live primetime musical variety show on the west coast of the United States.
But she's talking, Lord of fun, with someone that she really loves.
It takes rocks and gravel, make a solid roof.
I got some real good TV tonight.
You ready? This is Soundwaves TV.
Let's welcome Kathy Holly and Spotlight.
Welcome to Straight Talk for Entrepreneurs, where we reveal what it really takes to build a successful business. Hi, I'm Brandon C. White, and this is Build a Business Success Secrets.
I had to do a special, I think I'm going to call this a season finale with my pal of pals. Mary and Beer is in the house. How are you, Mary?
Hi, Rosie.
If you have an idea for a show and want to get your message out to the world, PCT can make it happen. For more information, please visit pacificcoast.tv and sign up to become a member. Let's make your show a reality. Pacific Coast TV has been connecting the San Mateo coastside through public education and government access television since 1977. As your local media center, we have provided a home for local personalities, performers, and artists to share their craft through one-of-a-kind programming.
I'm working long, don't change it.
There you go. Now shake that thing.
Many ongoing television series have called PCT home throughout the years.
But you know what I meant.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
What is she here?
Consistent coverage of local events and government meetings continue to bring the community closer together. PCT needs you now more than ever. The business complex housing PCT has been sold. Our individual unit is being offered for sale. We urgently need your donations to help keep PCT in its home. Please donate today by calling 650-355-8000 and leaving a message. Or visit our website at www.pacificcoast.tv to donate online now. We truly appreciate your help. Now, back to the show.
Wow, how about those violinists? Huh? Come on, give it up for them. Now, I'll tell you, that happened right here in the studio. There has been a who's who of Bay Area music greats. We've had the entire band, the holding company, Janis Joplin's band, has been right here. I've had members of the entire band at Tower of Power. We've had members of all kinds of amazing musical artists, and again, amazing artists of all stripes. And if you caught that little fundraiser, yeah, we're raising funds. Because again, on Monday, as we're taping right now, this is the 19th of, what month is this? November. And we're looking to sign papers to actually purchase this unit right here on Crespi Drive Monday. So put a pin in it, right? That's right, 2022, give it up. But the only way that's possible is by people supporting and people helping out. So yes, folks at home, I'm talking to you. This is a fundraiser too, and we do really appreciate the funds, and you can see where it goes to. All right, folks. Again, as I said, this is your community media center, and when I'm talking to you, I don't mean just Pacifica. This next gentleman came to us by way of Amanda. We call her Amanda Rocks, but I don't know where she's at right now. Oh, there she is. Hi, Amanda. She's in the back there. And Amanda is the karaoke DJ here on the Coastside. I saw her last night in San Jose, so she gets around. She's San Francisco on Thursday night. Last night she was in San Jose. But tonight she's here with us because she has really, really done something by introducing us to this next honoree who has been serving the Coastside, mostly south of the slide, right? Mostly in areas south of Pacifica, but he's been doing it for a little while for the entire Coastside. Check this out.
Raymond Wolfgramm, the business owner of NorCal Bees and lifelong soulmate to Cara Wolfgramm. A man of many talents and a master of all, a hard worker who puts his heart and soul into everything he touches. His secret ingredient is love. He worked as a carpenter by trade and fell into a secure job with the city of Pacifica for 30 years. His mom would always refer to his job as saving the city. NorCal Bees was a family passion that developed into a dream of saving the honeybees. His lifelong goal is to live life to the fullest. He volunteers as a sponsor to local support groups to teens who suffer with the effects of drugs and alcoholism. He is a mentor to young men and offers apprenticeships for beekeeping. His hobbies include surfing, diving, fishing, and traveling. PCT is pleased to honor Raymond Wolfgramm for his outstanding commitment to the community.
Folks, will you please help me welcome Ray Wolfgramm right here.
Pleasure. Wow, what an honor. I can't tell you how bright these lights are. But really, I'm really excited about being here and really humbled to be asked to, to come to this event here. And, actually, I served this city for 30 years as an employee.
Oh!
Yeah, so I also was on this side, but actually I lived in Pacifica for almost that whole entire time. And I worked right here at the treatment plant for 30 years. And, it was an honor to do that, But as I was getting near towards the end of my career, I knew I wanted to do something else, and I knew I wanted to have something, that I had passion for, and it just kind of organically came that this business of NorCal bees came, NorCal Honeybee Rescue. It all started one day when my buddy said, hey, we got bees, he's a ranger down in the Half Moon Bay, got bees in the wall, and we don't know what to do with them. And I said, well, I do have a construction background, and I'll, go rescue the bees, right? So I opened up the wall, and I removed the bees out of the walls, and I relocated them to my house, and then my buddies were all telling me, hey, you should do that as a business, And so a few years before I retired, I actually started that business. And now that's what I get to do. I travel all over, the Bay Area, and, I rescue honeybees. They could be in trees, we're using chainsaws, or we could be, in people's houses a lot of times, wherever they're, not desired, And people don't realize the honeybees are really struggling. We're losing 44% national average, so they're really struggling. 1 out of 3 bites of food you eat comes from the honeybees, so it's really something I have a passion for. And, whenever I pray, God always tells me to be of service, and I want to be of service to the community, especially the Coastside. I love the Coastside. I'm a longtime surfer, and, I just love this community, and anything I can do. Like it was mentioned, I do help people in drugs and alcohol, kids and as adults as well. I have a big passion for that as well. And, any way I can serve my community, that's what I'm all about, because I believe that that's what I'm here for, is to be of service, and I'm just super grateful you guys to let me be here. And we have a saying in beekeeping, it's like, it takes a small village to raise good quality queens. My good buddy Conrad Thaler told me about that once, because I am a queen breeder as well, and it takes a lot of work to breed those one little queen bees. And I also like to throw a shout out for the San Mateo Beekeepers Guild. If you ever think about becoming a beekeeper, that's a great organization to get hooked up with. $25 a year membership, and hook up with a bunch of other crazy beekeepers. Beekeepers are crazy, I gotta tell you about that. Probably almost as crazy as these guys. So thanks a lot, my friend. I appreciate
thank you,
that.
brother. Thank you so much.
All right.
Everybody, get up for him one more time, please. Yeah, wow. I didn't know beekeepers were so crazy, though. Did you know that? But on a more serious note, I have a friend of mine that has a honey business called Yummy Honey, and she talks at length about the plight of the bees. And to your point, Ray, and about how fragile our ecosystem is, so go the bees, so goes a lot, including perhaps us. So one more time, thank you. Kudos to you. Kudos. All right, so let me see where we're at here. Actually, we're at a good spot here because I'm really, really excited. This next gentleman I want to introduce, I had the honor. I would like to say pleasure, but it was an honor. But we had laid one of our board members' mom, who's a longtime supporter of PCT, has been operating these cameras. Joanne Zavarol. We laid her to rest. Almost a couple of years ago now. Has it been? In December, would have been 2 years. And that's how I got to meet Pastor Nibbe, and I was moved by his compassion and by his humor and his ability to really bring folks together around an understanding of our common humanity. So do me a favor and watch this on our next honoree, please.
Pastor Thomas Nibbe has devoted his life to exemplary service in every community he has been a part of, and has spent his life helping others through his faith in God. Pastor Nibbe met his wife Priscilla Sophia Najmunden during an internship at Pleasant Valley Farm in Woodstock, Illinois. He graduated from the Pacific Lutheran Theological Seminary in Berkeley in 1969 and did his graduate study in pastoral counseling at the Graduate Theological Union in Berkeley. He was a university counselor and preached on Sundays at UC Berkeley before becoming a pastor at St. John's Cathedral in Peshawar, Pakistan. He currently resides as a pastor at the Holy Cross Lutheran Church in our very own town of Pacifica, as well as the director of chaplaincy services at Spirit Care Ministry for Seniors. 4 years ago, Pastor Nibbe was afflicted with a heart attack following a procedure for lung cancer. Yet, he is still going on 50 years of pastoral ministry at the age of 75. Thank you, Pastor Nibbe, for all that you do for our community.
Wow. Will you all please help me in welcoming Pastor Thomas Nibbe, please?
Just going to say, who was that? I don't recognize the individual that did all those things. I feel really honored to be here this evening and humbled knowing who has already been honored this evening. I'm just overwhelmed with the company that we have here this evening. It was about a month ago that I had a wedding on the 17th floor of the KQED building in San Jose, quite a wedding. During the rehearsal, the best man looked over my way and he said, Reverend, what denomination are you? And I said to him, a green, crisp, new $100 bill. That's my denomination. I've always liked to add just a touch of humor to just about everything that you could possibly do in communicating something that is probably greater than humor, but humor is a great thing to open up doors. And I suppose I've been doing a lot of that over the last 53 years. One of the fellow students that I had shared the undergraduate work and the graduate work in Berkeley had suggested I may last for about a year or two in the ministry, and also suggested that my wife Priscilla and I, because we could literally not speak to each other when we got married. She spoke Urdu and Punjabi, and I spoke English. We kind of worked on that through the years. But just to say, it's been 53 years now. And I'm just really amazed and surprised that if you take things one day at a time, and sometimes, as with a person at Pacifica Nursing and Rehabilitation the other day, with a gentleman who was actually in his last days with cancer, was absolutely miserable. And for some reason, this was not part of my training, but sometimes the Lord kind of kicks me in the backside over things. And as he was talking and complaining, I said to him, you know, you really need to stop calling yourself a victim and thinking of yourself as a victim. You know, you have a couple more days to live, and you can either concentrate upon the time that you're no longer going to be alive, or you can make each one of those days not only a victorious day, but an eternity. And I suppose through these years, I should have retired about 15, 16 years ago, but I suppose through these years, I've discovered that if you live in the eternal now, the eternal what is today, life is a real privilege, and you can really live. I mean, imagine yourself thinking that you're a victim, or that you have cancer and you're going to die, or think of yourself as dead already while you're still alive. I could never see the rationale with that. And I suppose I've encouraged people through these years, very simple job that I have, really, but encouraging people to live one day at a time. And that works in very well with my concept of theology, of religion. But those things to me are things of the past. I suppose you could say, for me, I am just a simple man of faith, and it's very difficult for me to stand up this evening and to share with you, because you are honored guests that are quite esteemed in terms of your accomplishments in life. But I do want to thank you very kindly for making me one of the people that are honored this evening. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. One more time. Thomas Nibbe, please. Okay, right now we're going to go to a video. This next gentleman is the newly minted city manager of Half Moon Bay, but he has a long history as a local native son. Check this out. We'll be right back.
Matthew Chidester is the city manager of Half Moon Bay. Growing up in San Mateo County, Mr. Chidester saw what he could do to help the Coastside firsthand. He has overseen many crucial issues in our community, including nonprofit support and collaboration, working with Latinx and immigrant communities, and expanding all what Parks and Recreation has to offer. He is fiercely dedicated to public service and has improved our Coastside in so many ways. That is why, tonight, we are proud to honor Matthew Chidester.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. I'm sorry I can't be there in person. I really wish I could, but I'm so grateful to be honored with all of you tonight and to celebrate with all of you tonight. I'm so blessed to be in this role with the city of Half Moon Bay, serving the community that I grew up in. And I've been doing it for the city for 6 years and with the county for 15 years before that. And I really love the work that I do. My goal is to make this community a better place for everybody to live. And PCT is such a great partner in that effort with us here at the city, providing coverage of the work that we do, sharing it with all of you and with the world, and bringing transparency to the work that we do as well. And so I really want to express my gratitude to all of you for your support, to our city staff for all the great work that they do, and to those that we partner with. We are in such a great place to work together and to really make this a great community, and to look out for those that may not be as blessed as we are. And thank you so much for all the work that you all do. And thanks again for this award tonight. I really do appreciate it, and I can't wait to be in person with all of you again. Thank you.
Yeah, give it up for him. Native son right there. All right, folks, we're going to throw it out to a little break, and we're going to come right back right after these messages.
Here at Pacific Coast Television, we need your help. Our studios complex has been sold. But thanks to the Pacifica community, we have the opportunity to purchase our unit. You can donate now on our website, www.pacificcoast.tv.
This year marks PCT's 45-year anniversary. Let's check in with the community to see how we're doing.
Hi, I'm Farrah Walton. My very first internship was with Pacific Coast TV. They taught me so many valuable skills and lessons that I have now taken with me to Abilene, where I am the new weekend anchor and reporter. So thank you, PCT, for teaching me lots of valuable skills.
Hello, I'm Anita Reese with the Pacifica Resource Center, and I am so grateful for the Pacific Coast TV. They are a wonderful resource for the community and are always highlighting the most important things in our community, whether it's in Pacifica or through Half Moon Bay.
Hi, I'm Bob West. Now, you may not know my face, but you may be familiar with this big guy. Hi there! It's me, Barney the Dinosaur! You know, I have been all over the world helping friends, young and old, learn many wonderful things and having fun doing it. That's why I'm here at Pacific Coast Television, because they help people too. PCT has been teaching and entertaining and sharing local meetings and events with their friends in Pacifica and on the Coastside since 1977, and that's a long time.
PCT is critical for our communities, all the way down the coast. Right? We have to have community television so people can participate, so they can be civically engaged. Because people can't always make it to our meetings, right? So the only way that they can be civically engaged is to be able to watch the meetings on PCT. And then there's other things at PCT too. There's the podcast booth, there's the media center. My students have taken advantage of it.
I think everyone should have an opportunity and should take the opportunity to come and see what is available to you as a community member at PCT. I always have to check myself and remember it's not Pacifica Community Television. It is Pacific Coast Television. And it's Pacific Coast Television because you've taken on so much work. This organization is bringing democracy into everyone's door.
You're not going to get school board meetings on the local stations, but you can get it at PCTV. The staff you guys are so awesome, and I love the way it's immediately available for us, and because people will want links to it, can you send it to us? And immediately they can see it. And I have other parents in the district who can't come to meetings, but they watch PCTV, and they can follow along because you have the captions. It tells us exactly what item we're discussing. So it's just been great to have that, and it'd be a real shame to lose it.
PCT is extremely important because we all need to know what's happening in our local government, and they step up, they film so many local municipalities and provide the opportunity for the community to come to different meetings while after physically having to be there. So they need to be here. They're as vital as a local paper. PCT needs to be around. Please help them.
Help save our studio. Visit pacificcoast.tv. Donate now.
PCT has been around as long as Palm.
Well, guess what? We're all grown up now. Yep, that's right. Not your grandpa's TV station, but a 21st century state-of-the-art media center. Let's make history together. Go to pacificcoast.tv. Support PCT now. My gosh, little long on the shameless self-promotion here tonight. Even I'm noticing that. Oh, that's right. It is a fundraiser. That's right. Okay, it is a fundraiser. Yeah. And yes, I'll be honest with you. A lot of organizations get up in front of the county, the city governments, and deservedly so, toot their own horn. This is the only organization that has really chronicled. I mean, we've got the Historical Society in Half Moon Bay, right? And of course the History Association here in Pacifica. But in terms of actually putting that on video, right, for the past 45 years, this is where you're actually getting the history too. So when you think about, giving to organizations, think about giving to PCT for that reason alone, because we're a chronicler of your history, of that valuable history, and of course, moving into the 21st century as well. So what I'd like to do right now is I'd like to throw it out to another one of our wonderful honorees who has been a chronicler of the history of this coast side. Why don't you take a look at this, and we'll be right back.
Jane Northrop is an incredibly dedicated member of our community. She has just retired as the long-serving local reporter for the Pacifica Tribune. She is committed to informing our Coastside and shining a light on local establishments. Ms. Northrop also works with multiple local nonprofits. She is one of the longest-serving members on the PCT Board of Directors. That is why, tonight, we are excited to honor Jane Northrop.
Yeah, I told myself I wasn't going to cry tonight, but everybody, can you help me give it up for Jane Northrop, please? Hi, Jane.
Well, thank you. I must say that my whole career at the Pacifica Tribune started right here at PCT. Because I produced a show called Schoolhouse Rot with Gail Shoemaker and all the crew and the editing, everything happened right here at PCT. And if it wasn't for that show, that show enabled the school district to pass its bond because the voters saw how bad the schools were. And so they passed the bond, the facilities bond, to improve the schools. So that was good. That was a good campaign. But that's why Chris Hunter, who was my former editor at the Tribune, hired me because he saw Schoolhouse Rock, which was produced right here at PCT. Right. So I'd like to thank Chris for hiring me, and I'd like to thank Clay Lambert at the Half Moon Bay Review for continuing the tradition of a community newspaper that hasn't been in place for a long time, probably since the time that Bill Drake owned the paper, owned the Pacifica Tribune. It's been owned by various, hedge funds in between. And it hasn't been local, so the board, Clay Lambert, and the board provided the financial support to make that happen, to bring the Pacifica Tribune back as a community newspaper. So I'd like to thank Marty and Jason and the board here for everything that they do. They do so much, and I've been honored to be on the board of PCT. So I'd like to thank them. Thank you.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yes.
I hear stories like that a lot about how people come, and again, that's the idea, right? You want to be that bridge builder and help communities come together and help people find each other. And I've heard a lot of stories like that over the years. This is the first time I've heard that story, so thank you, Jane, for sharing it with us. Now, I don't see it on my script here, so forgive me because I have been remiss. It's not on my script, but there are two people that we want to acknowledge that, speaking of the people who put this together, you mentioned Jason. Jason Francisco is actually in the booth directing right now. I don't know if we can get him to come out here. It's probably not possible. But this program and programs like it are not possible without the people who are behind the scenes, who work behind the scenes. Sometimes you never see them, you never hear them. But Jason Francisco is one of those people. I don't know if we have pictures or if anything we can show because I don't see it on my script for some reason. I think Jason scrubbed it off the script. That's what I think happened. But we want to acknowledge my buddy Jason, and there he is. That's Jason Jordan and Rudy here, who's been barking at you all night, and Jason Francisco has just been a man among men, and has been for. I mean, we promote from within around here. Okay, so he started out as an intern when I was just really coming in to the job here. I got I think 2 hours of training, and then they threw me in. They're like, here, you'll make it. Throw me into the deep end of the pool. But it was because of guys like Jason, and specifically because of Jason, that I've been able to last as long as I have, because he really came in and helped to provide that technical acumen. This stuff isn't magic. It is, as far as you're concerned, but people who are very smart people who are learned and who a lot of them got their education right here are the ones that make this happen. So I want to thank Mr. Jason Francisco, if we could. Now, while we're at it, keep that applause going, because another lady that we want to thank right now is our own treasurer, Miss Linda Gilbraith. And I'm going to tell you one thing about Linda. Linda came to PCT, and she's not here tonight. She's at home. She's at home because she's a little under the weather. But she came to PCT as a mom whose daughter, Leilani, was in the 4-H program when she was like 13 years old, right? And so there's Leilani and Linda and myself at one of our ugly Christmas sweater contests. Although those are some pretty good-looking Christmas sweaters, I got to say. And as you can see, Linda has been on our telethon. She's been a stalwart doing so many things. Well, right now, currently, she's helping save our bacon, because when it became this idea of getting this unit here, when that came to the forefront, well, guess what? We didn't really have the money. I mean, I'm just going to be really honest with you. So we're taking a leap of faith, Pastor Nibbe. I might have to do a little prayer circle with you later on tonight, and whoever wants to, because we need to raise funds to make this happen. So when I say that this is, we're fundraising, we're a little, yes, we try not to be shameless self-promoters, but we're going to go into that mode a little bit more, because we have to let people know what they have here, because if you don't use it and you don't support it, you'll lose it, right? And there's been many, many communities that have lost their community media centers and lost all that history and all the stuff like what Jane is talking about, all those community ties. And we don't want to be one of those, especially not since we started it. Can I get a here? Can I get an amen? And it's people like Jason and Linda and all the people like Rudy and all these guys on the cameras, these interns that you see, that are the reason that year after year after year we're able to do this and then bring that love forward into the community. All right, without further ado, speaking of somebody who loves his community, we want to honor one last gentleman right here. This is a guy named Mike O'Neill, who has been who is currently a city council member. And once again, you might remember that we have honored him previously, but the reason why we want to bring him back up tonight is because on, I think it's December the 10th, will be his last city council meeting as a sitting member of the Pacifica City Council. So take a look at this.
We are pleased to honor Mike O'Neill this year. Mike O'Neill has lived in Pacifica since 1981. He has been on the Pacifica City Council for 10 years. He graduated from San Francisco State University in 1978 and is very involved with the education system today. He served as a member on the Board of Trustees for the Pacifica School Board for 14 years and is on the Employee Housing Board for Jefferson School District. He is also a transition navigator at Jefferson High School. Mike O'Neill is involved with the LAFCO for San Mateo County and is on the JPA Governing Board for the Pacifica branch of San Mateo County Libraries. Finally, he is on the Board of Directors for both the Boys and Girls Club of Pacifica and the Pacifica History Society. Today, he is happily married to his wife Liz and has 3 grown children. PCT is honored to recognize Mike O'Neill this year.
First, I'd really like to thank Pacific Coast Television, their board of directors, and PCT TV 26 for the honor of being honored today. It's an important achievement. They are an integral and important part of Pacifica. As I've said before, they are one of the threads that hold the fabric and quilt of the Coastside and Pacifica together as a community television station, the oldest one in the United States that started at Oceana High School many years ago. I think it's the 45th year it's been in existence. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the citizens of Pacifica for entrusting me, voting me first with your children in the school bonds in the school district for 14 years, and now with City Council for 10 years. I've been a part and helped with many different things and have served on both the Board of Trustees of the school district and the City Council with many wonderful people that care about this city. And I've been able to meet many people. Maybe we have differences of opinion, but we all look for the same thing, and that is a better Pacifica. And now, at this challenging time in government and the world, from the environment to politics to finances, we need to come together, work together, and keep our institutions like PCT, Pacific Coast Television, operating. And I congratulate them on the close of escrow of the purchase of their unit on Crespi there in Pacifica. Thank you, PCT TV.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Wow. Yeah, the close of escrow, man. Wow, that's what talk about a where's my blood pressure pills? Talk about a monumental achievement for a little, the little tiny little station that could. And yes, we have been promoting PCT a lot this evening. But again, that's only because of you guys. You guys are the ones that make it happen. And again, as we pass that baton, as we pass that torch to the next generation, I want you to all go out and help me spread that word, because somebody might want to volunteer. Maybe somebody wants to volunteer in their community. They don't know how, right? Well, guess what? We'll give them a job. We'll give them something to do. And we'll even give them some training that they can take into the workforce, because we are a 21st century workforce development institution here. And not just, so they can run cameras and so forth, but all the stuff. Think about it. This world that we're living in now, it's social media, it's internet, it's computers. And all those things are the jobs of the future. So, you might come and volunteer some time here or become an intern here, and then find that exactly the skills that you needed to forward your career, you found right here. And that's something that we've been doing for decades now. So do me a favor, give yourselves a big round of applause, because you're the ones that make it happen. And we want to thank you so very much, all of you tonight. This has been our honor to serve you and to hopefully introduce some people to some other really fine people. Thank you so very much. On the behalf of our entire board of directors, on behalf of all of our interns, our volunteers, and everybody, we thank you, we love you, and good night.